Hello everybody, and welcome to the Bloodsports 4 Challenge Action Figure Packaging Judging.
Hello.
So, hey everybody. First of all, let me just say that we destroyed last week's, or the last,
The last
challenge. It was crazy. Like, seriously, last time, what did we had like 37?
I think we had 37. We had over 100 this time.
Yeah, so we had 37 2 weeks ago, and now we had over 100 entries. That's insane.
It's incredible. It's more than I've ever seen in an online art contest.
Yeah, for something like this, where we were, I mean, for the most part, we were disorganized until we got the forum.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, just go to crimsondaggers.com, click on the forum, the link's right on the side, and sign up, post your stuff, whatever. So from this point on, I want to let everybody know that we'll probably be doing these the day after the deadline because of the amount of entries we've been getting.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that it's manageable for us to look through them all and, give everybody a fair chance and, not just kind of settle on something because we're rushing. Yep. So we'll be doing these the day after the deadline from now on because it makes more sense. So that being said, the challenge was to create action figure packaging for a toy. This had to be, like the old traditional kind of kids toy thing with the action figure characters, all exciting so that everybody would want to buy it. Yep, the point was to sell it.
Yep, we put emphasis on late 70s through the 90s.
Yeah, well, the boom of action figures, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of this challenge was to catch the attention of people, make you want to buy it. Like, why would a kid see this from across the aisle and say, that's the toy I want? Why do you do that? Like, what makes you get drawn to that character? What's exciting about it? We pulled up examples like G.I. Joe, like explosions behind all of the G.I. Joe characters, for instance, and they're running at you with guns and stuff. It's like there's always something like that.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, just super pump up stuff. So, that being said, with the over 100 entries we had, we have broken it down into the top 3, which basically means that 3 people tied for number 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull them up on the screen.
We got first, second, and 3-way tie for third, which has never happened. But there's no way to decide between these 3.
Yeah, they're all pretty much on the same level.
So we got 3 here. They're all tied for third.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, we couldn't realistically tell apart from the 3 and give one the third position because they were all pretty much successful at what they were trying to do. We couldn't tell you guys why one was better than the other because that, like we would just be doing it for the sake of having first, second, and third, and that wouldn't be right. So we didn't want to do that.
So we got 3 here, and it's like they're all really good for some reasons, and they fall short for others. But they're all when you combine all those things, they're all pretty much on the same level.
Yeah. So I just want to say some names first. The Chameleon on the left, his name is Colonel Chameleon, and it's by Tim Holm. The middle one is Geode, it's Crystal Crusaders, it's by Lee Fenninger. And the one on the right is Queen Elizabeth, and it's by Sykra Yasin.
Yep. And
you guys, you all did a great job. You have these, good shapes, good motion in the image. By shapes, I mean like, you have the Chameleon. He has a good shape. He's screaming. He's got the bazooka. Muscles are flexed. There's not a ton going on, which is the shortcoming in the background. There's not a lot of action to draw you in, but it has a cool silhouette going on. He's angry, he's pumped up. In the middle, you have Geo. He's jumping through the air. He's got his electric whip, and there's a big explosion behind him. and it's cool. He's got the cheesy villain up in the top right, just kind of screaming in outer space, and he's got the cheesy 90s design going on, and that's pretty cool.
And good choice using an explosion for a light source on a character that was, crystal reflective. It's a good choice.
Yeah, it's cool. And then you got Queen Elizabeth, like she looks evil. Obviously, she's a villain. You can tell, like she's got the angry face. She's yelling in her arm, and then she claws her out, and she's reaching around the character figure, and it's, it's very dynamic and cool. And you got this nice lighting going on.
Yeah.
Where the toy is the light source, it's glowing. Nice contrast there.
Really creative solution, making that Victorian collar the lizard's actual collar on its anatomy.
Yeah.
No, you got a really good idea there. It works really well.
Yeah. So the main thing about these, where we couldn't really tell a difference, is because it's a kid's toy. A lot of times they have like little gimmicky things that pull the kids in, like reasons why you'd buy them, and that's why we had Colonel Chameleon, because like right on it says, he changes color when you rub him. He's a cold-blooded killer with a warm heart.
Fireable.
Yeah, fireable bazooka. Like he actually thought about the toy.
Like if you did two things differently, you would have gotten a third for Colonel Chameleon. And those two things are, number one, there's nothing in the background. You hinted at an environment, but it's so vague that it's really nothing.
Yeah.
Easy solution, just easy solution. Nuclear bomb going off behind him, and tapering the words "cold-blooded killer with a warm heart," so that they're coming out of his mouth like he's screaming.
Yeah, just like something with the composition, because right now there's a weird line going on with the cold-blooded killer with a warm heart and the way his mouth is opening.
Yeah.
And it leads you off of the composition. Like the point of the box design was that it needed to work as a composition. Like there needed to be clear movement, and there needed to be, emphasis on the toy. So
like I love the changes color when you rub them thing. That's awesome. One thing you got to think about when you're designing these things, what could you add as an element that kids would want to play with? And instantly with a character like this Colonel Chameleon, there should have been a button on his back where when you pressed it, the horns shot out of his head like missiles.
Yeah, something like that.
Little things like that work with the character's design. So it's like if there's something obvious on him that looks like a weapon, make that a gimmick. Little things like that. But I love the changes color when you rub them. I love the fireable bazooka. That's all great. It's just, as a box design, it fell short because there's a disconnect between the character. It's like split right down the middle. Character on one side, blank space on the other.
Yeah, I do like the clear. I'm gonna zoom in because you might not have noticed it immediately. The nice vague phallus there in the background.
Yeah, it's big phallus.
It's good. Yeah. On the geode one, sort of the thing that takes away from it is that aside from the toy itself, there's not a lot of like selling points. And what I mean by selling points is like a lot of times, like on what me and Dan, our sort of solution for that was to add in like a pet or something. So like a reason why you would continue to buy those products. Like what about this toy makes you want to move over and get the next thing, like, and keep buying from us, and like hinting that there's something else that you could go and get. Like something like that, or a gimmick like the other one, like something happens with him, his eyes glow, his, battery's not included sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that was the same sort of crit for the Queen Elizabeth, where there's no real thing about the toy, and it doesn't always have to be that way. I mean, I'm not saying that that's like a clear thing that needs to be there, but it helps, But, yeah, these are all cool.
They're great. I mean, and they all work for their markets. Like, the Chameleon, the Colonel Chameleon, looks like a Ninja Turtles toy that actually would have existed. The Geode looks like a rejected Power Rangers character that could have existed, or something from that era. The Queen Elizabeth looks like a cartoon show that was on in the mornings or something that could have existed. They all work really well, so good job.
Yeah, and they really evoke a feel. That is exactly what I like. Like, it's hard to really tell people exactly what the judging is on this, because a lot of people think it's all about the rendering, like it's all about making the most beautiful picture, and it's not. It needs to work for the market. I mean, that's the job we gave you. Like the challenge was a job. Yeah. If you got a job like this, would you be able to do it? And it's not about you and what you believe in and like what you think a cool picture is. It's about what the client thinks a cool picture is, because they're selling it to a kid.
Exactly. And after we talk about the second and first place winners, we're going to show you guys a couple runners up that rendered extremely beautiful stuff.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
They did not work as toy package designs at all.
Yeah, like these are really cool. And like we said, like the middle one looks like a Japanese influence, like brought over to America show, like, and just dubbed it. Like that's what it looks like to me. You got this lifeless villain up in the top, and it looks like it's sort of just like that on purpose, like a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. And like Dan said, Saturday morning cartoon on the right, obviously like something fun, and then on the left, Ninja Turtles, kind of a little bit darker. But yeah, cool stuff. I'm gonna move over to
second place.
Where is it?
Second place took a big risk, and we're gonna talk about why it worked.
There's that one, that one. This one. Here you go. Look at it. Gorilla Guardians. This one is Victor Barth's.
Yeah, he just showed everything.
Well, I know. But I have other stuff in the other windows that I need to show too.
But yeah. So this is Victor Barth's. Really, really cool. He took a big risk and it worked. I'm going to talk about why it worked. Basically, you just did a really big portrait, and you put the toy in front of it. And if it was just the portrait, you wouldn't have gotten second place. You wouldn't have even been in the top 3 if it was just the portrait, because there's nothing there if it's just a portrait. You know what I mean? It's just a very realistic looking gorilla, and whatever, the kids aren't going to care. But you actually, we said this wasn't required, I want to stress that, but you took something that wasn't required and added it in, where you rendered the toy and the big mace thing the toy comes with. And because that toy is like a silly representation of the character portrait above it, instantly I understand that this is the kind of packaging that you would see in the 90s when a movie came out about something, and they'd release the movie versions of the toys, where it has the very realistic film still of the character looking over his shoulder, and then it has the really shitty realization of the toy underneath it that doesn't even look like the movie. That happened all the time. All the time. Anytime a movie came out about anything kids liked, this happened with a line of toys.
Yeah.
It's the movie version Power Rangers, the movie version Ninja Turtles, the movie version everything. And that's why this works.
Yeah, it works so well in that regards. Like that is so awesome, because it's like you look at that and it's like you want to play with that picture, right?
Yeah.
But then you look down at the toy and it's like I'll just zoom in so you guys can look at it. Like it's that face and then it's that face. Like it's so good. It just works so well, and it's such a a nice like insight into like the actual thing that happened when you were a kid. It's sort of the same idea as like looking at the outside of a comic book and then opening it up and having everything be like, oh, this isn't what it is. Yeah, but it's really well done.
Yeah, it's awesome. It just reminds me so much of those like Hercules, the legendary journeys. And it's like that guy who played Hercules, just a photo of him on the box, and some shitty, horrible, like fake anime toy of a naked guy that looks nothing like him at all. They did that all the time, like Xena toys and things like that, like just all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's got a shot from the TV show and then a toy that tries to be that but fails. And I love it. I love it for that.
Yeah, the only things I would say about this is like the portrait. I mean, like you pretty much nailed it. I don't have a lot to say about that. Like you did a really good job. It feels really cool. You have a nice design to the box. It works really well with the toy, the way it's shaped, all that stuff. I can tell that there's probably other gorillas in the line of toys that are coming out. so they probably all work within that little box area for the action figure. And the other thing I would say is, like simple things like the background. It's just not very well done as far as like the leaves. Like you basically took a palm tree brush and moved it all around, and just like dotted it around. I mean, like that's really the only thing that hurts it, because against this image, it feels way less done, and it's such a hard shape that it's just kind of like jumping out at you.
Yeah.
And that's like the only thing is like, more care in the foliage to make it feel like it's a jungle. I mean, like, it's not bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the render, it's like good design, good choices with everything. That just sticks out kind of like a sore thumb to me.
And if anyone's wondering about the gimmick thing we talked about, the gimmick for this thing is what it is. It's integrated into it. The fact that it's the limited run movie toy is the gimmick.
Yeah. But, yeah, nice composition. It's really cool. And then, obviously, spoiler alert, I already spoiled it, but should have closed your eyes. Here's the first place. Fucking John Silva.
John Silva got first place.
I don't know if you're here, John. You're generally always in the chat.
Yeah.
But you killed this. It's like last time we talked about how PK Mike Azevedo, like how he killed it. Mm-hmm. Like you did that on this challenge.
Yep.
Like, it's well rendered, it's exciting. I mean, like, look at it. Like, just look at it as a whole. He's jumping out at you. He's like right there. Like he's reaching out at the people. He's making like this intense face, the tongue sticking out, his drool. He's missing an eye. He's got magic going on. You can see the other characters, so it's a full set. It's Legends of Lizards. He's wearing a robe. He's obviously a wizard. I mean, his name is the Lizard Wizard. You got the Toei animation, so automatically you're telling me that this is a show. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like that. And then you have the warnings and all that stuff, and your little message.
All the other toys in the group behind him, so the kids will see it on the package and immediately want to complete the set.
Yep. It's like you really thought about it. And you have a nice, strong composition leading, working with the toy. You got this really strong triangle.
And a cool negative read on the bottom that reinforces his cape.
Yeah, that was cool too. Like lots of really good design ideas in this. And I really appreciate that, because it's like you really did take a step back and think about it and plan it out. Like you obviously, like, I don't have all of your compositions up right here. Let me see if I can grab them in just a second. Yeah, I have them. So, like, just to show you guys, this is all the stuff he did. So, he had where the red squares are, where the characters would be. So he did a lot before he settled on what he settled on.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about this, is never start doing the one thing, the first thing you think of. Keep working until something really works with you and what you want to do. Like, it's always good to do multiple thumbnails, and everybody did them for the most part that were in the top. But just in general, for everybody else, make sure you do stuff like that. And the negative read in this image is, it's just the whole shape of the character.
It's positive space versus negative space. It's a very broad term used for the activated space and the space that's behind it.
Yeah, I mean, the only things I would say is that the magic that's coming out of his hands, I feel like should break his body a bit. It hugs him a little too much. And I feel like that kind of messes it up just a little bit in the composition, where it kind of disappears into the background light. But aside from that, really good job.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like, for what you're going for, you took the route of doing the realism, but you also made him have a fun expression. He's doing something fun, and it's full of action. I mean, like, it's exactly like, if I can just tell you, if I was a kid and I saw this in the store, I'd want to buy it.
Yep.
Like, that's just the first thing I thought when I saw this. Is like, if I was a kid and I saw this, oh man, I'd totally want it.
That's what it's all about.
So, really good job. Keep on pushing yourself in these. This is the best thing I've seen from you. I mean, like, I've seen your work, and you obviously pushed yourself, so really good job. Alright. So, you already saw the other ones, but I'm gonna pull them up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about two pieces. There were other pieces that did this. We're going to bring these up as examples of really, really well-rendered things.
Yeah, like me and Dan, like, don't get us wrong, we love these.
Yeah, we love them, but they don't work as toy designs.
Yeah, that's the only thing is, like,
They
the
work
thing with
as concept art.
the thing, like right up here I have, hold on, let me pull up everything, just to make sure I'm not getting any names wrong. So, this is George Mantilla on the right, and Alex Negrias on the left. It's like, you guys also, you killed it with what's going on. George? Yeah, George. Jorge, Georgie, Gerger. I love you.
George.
But the only thing about it is that, I mean, the one on the right it feels a little bit more like a toy. It's lighter. It feels a bit more like, like it could be a toy.
Yeah. It feels like those Warcraft toys.
Yeah.
Where they're like, they're not totally for kids, but it feels lighter than the lizard one. Don't get us wrong, again, we love both of these, but they look more like really refined concept art for a video game than they do a kid's toy. Like, especially the lizard one. It looks like a still of concept art from a game, like a very serious game. It doesn't look like, it's not really fun, it's not really bright. It doesn't really have anything the kid's gonna want. It's just, a really cool piece of concept art with kids' toy stuff stamped on top of it. So it doesn't really satisfy the challenge, even though it's a great piece of art.
Yeah, we just want to stress that this challenge was to make the toy marketed to kids, and the thing about it is that, like, you gotta think back to why stuff was popular. It's like, why was somebody like, like somebody said in the side, like Todd McFarlane. Why was Todd McFarlane? Oh, like, this is your piece too, but it's like, why was Todd McFarlane so successful in selling all that stuff to kids? Is because it's so much like that. Like, if I go on, I'm just doing a Google thing real quick. Bear with me for a second. But with all that stuff, you always have these, like, super exciting things going on, like super badass, like for kids and all that. Like, either like super dramatic or it's like always pushed in one direction pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, let me pull this up. This isn't really a good example, but
If that gorilla was going to be a McFarlane toy, I guarantee you the muscles would be at least twice as big.
I mean, like, here, it's hard to really see it. I hope you can see it. But on this one I'm looking at, it's like, you see the toy in it? It's like the Spawn toy. And it's over here. But on the right, there's like, on the left, there's a picture of him just fucking screaming with the gun, like, right in your face. Like, shooting bullets and stuff. Like, that's what I mean, is like, for people who want to buy this, it's like high impact. It's exciting, it's fun, it's right there. And that's what we're talking about like the whole thing of, it's just a piece of art. It's like, while it's closer, it's not exactly selling it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that being said, again, we like the pieces, we like the designs, we love the rendering. It's all there, but it's not toy design. It's like, the gorilla looks like Blizzard concept art, and the lizard one looks like a Magic card type of illustration.
Yeah, but what I always say on this is, like, it's the same thing when we did the other challenge. It's like, Alex, like, with your abilities in your way of rendering, like, you could kill all of these, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could kill all of these. It's just that think about the market, think about who it's being directed at, because if you got a job doing it, I'm just saying, like, because of jobs that I've had to do, just in my own personal experience, you can do the best job rendering and making it so cool. But if they get it and it doesn't work for exactly what they're selling to, they won't accept it. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how cool it looks. It needs to work for exactly what it is. That's the only thing. So,
No, well, Jim, that's not what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is that these challenges are specifically tailored to real jobs, and the point of doing them is to get you ready for these jobs that you might have in your career so that when you get them, you know what you're doing and you're ready to handle it. It's about getting out of your comfort zone and doing something you might not have the balls or the guts to do otherwise. And then if you do the challenge and you just make it the same kind of art you always do, but you tack on the gimmick at the end, like in this case, doing a really good illustration in the same style you always use and then adding the little box for the figure and the logo afterwards,
yeah.
that's not the challenge. The challenge is to get you ready for something you might not do otherwise. It's to mix it up for you and show you that when you do start working in an illustration career, you're going to get jobs you don't know how to do, jobs you don't want to do, jobs you don't know how to approach, jobs you've never done before, markets you didn't know existed. And you have to be ready to handle those all individually. You can't just be yourself and be comfortable with the fact that, well, if I'm good, I'm going to be good. Everything's going to be taken care of. That's not enough. You know, being good's not enough. You have to be able to translate your skills into different markets. But anyway.
Oh yeah, and the other thing is I totally agree with somebody else who mentioned this in the chat. I was reading it. They were saying that the toy in John Silva's was small. I agree with that. It should have been bigger for the size of the box.
Yeah, I agree too.
But as the marketing illustration goes on the box, it works. You know, like he even could have bumped the toy up, you know, up to the chin of the character, and it still would work. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, I just want to go and show a couple other ones that were kind of cool, like ones that are just you know, something funny. Like here's one that I liked a bit. It's like very He-Man.
Oh yeah, I love this. It's literally a He-Man character, but instead of a dude, it's a lizard wearing the same costume.
Yeah, it's like there were a lot of cool ones. Like there were a lot of really funny ones and cool ones. Like this one's Kid Diamond, half man, part machine, all diamond.
Yeah.
There's my personal favorite one, and I'm not trying to be a dick right now, and I'm not trying to make fun of anything, but this one was fucking awesome.
I love this one too.
And I'm not even being mean. Like I'm not trying to say like fucking awesome in a sarcastic way.
I love like it's so dark and horrifying. And
Yeah.
he looks like his whole family just got murdered, and then it just says Captain Coconuts in like a fun font.
Yeah, like I literally cried when I opened this. I started crying. I was laughing so hard.
Like
it's like a real monkey, and then fucking Captain Coconuts in a night suit. I was like crying.
It's like a stormy day. There's no sunlight. Everything's dark. He looks like he wants to kill people. He looks mortified. Like it's like Apocalypse Now with a medieval monkey, and then just like Captain Coconuts.
Yeah.
Like, my God.
It's so good. So, oh man, so good.
I love that.
Oh man.
It really makes me realize how stupid our IPs were when you place it against something that dark.
I know.
Captain Coconuts. Gorilla Guardians. He just looks like, oh God.
Captain Coconuts.
It's horrifying.
Avenge your family.
It's like if it said Captain Coconuts and it was just him on the horse in that scene in Braveheart when he comes in with the ball and chain. Captain Coconuts, like he's just gonna kill somebody. Beautiful.
Yeah. So, what else did we want to talk about on here?
I think that's it. If anyone doesn't know, the new challenge was announced yesterday. It's up on the Bloodsports blog if you want to check it out. It's I won't go into all the details because I already did. Watch it on my channel on demand if you want in-depth details, or all the info's on the blog. It's basically to take a Miyazaki movie of one of the 9 in his canon and redesign it for a new audience. So it's like they're all tailored to an anime audience because they're all anime. So it's to take it, make it not anime, and bring it to any other style you want, whether it's realism, whether it's impressionism, whether it's making it a children's book or something. Like that's basically the challenge. So
Yes, I'm gonna be doing it on live stream, and Dan's doing his on live stream. So we're both gonna be working on it with you guys, and hopefully, if you're doing it, you post it up on the Crimson Daggers forum that we got going on now.
yeah, so the big thing to take away from this, if you're doing the next challenge, is look at how we judged this. We judged it based on market application. So if you just do Miyazaki fan art, it's exactly the same as the movie. You're not tailoring it to any new market, so you're not going to win. That's the hard part.
So, congratulations to John Silva, Victor Barth, Tim Holm, Lee Fenninger, Psycher Yasin. You guys did a great job. I mean, Alex Negria, you did a great job. I don't want to say your name again wrong.
Yep.
York, you did a great job. We could play the Crusaders song. Dan, where is yours?
Want Topaz Tony?
Yeah, I want to bring up yours, because me and Dan both did this challenge, and I don't want to... I'd like to put it out there that me and Dan both, we both worked on this too. Hold on, I'll find it on your Facebook.
Yeah, he's on my Facebook.
Oh god. It's so stupid.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Where's
Alright.
Trevor? I don't think Trevor finished.
He didn't?
I don't know. I didn't see it done if he did.
Well, here's Dan's. This was Topaz Tony and Shard, the crystal cat. And crystal critters was sold separately, by the way.
Yeah.
Me and Dan designed our own set of toys. It was pretty fun. I'm gonna bring over mine. This was mine, Ruby Robert.
Ruby Robert. With Ruby Robert.
Yeah, with his little crystal critter, Ruby Robin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so these were really fun. I mean, like, we really love this challenge. I'm pretty pumped that we actually managed to finish stuff, though.
Yeah.
See a close-up of Topaz Tony's face.
The good thing is, me and Dave have lots of ideas, and we never actually do them. So this was cool for us to actually finish them.
Dave, is that a vagina on his head? Glad you asked.
Because mine is a penis.
And mine is blooming flowers and a vagina head. And Dan is all penis themed, so...
Yes, that was intentional.
As you can tell, me and Dan took this challenge extremely seriously for the market that we were going for. We were like, what do kids want to see? Dicks.
Oh, God.
So anyways. Yeah, take part in the next challenge, because this was crazy. Like, we've never seen a turnout like this for any of the concept art things, or anything really. It's pretty awesome. So, thanks everybody for doing it, and pushing yourselves and working so hard, and actually doing all the studies. Like, it's always great when there's such a huge turnout, and, such a group of people actually wanting to do something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hardly ever do you find people willing to do all that stuff. So that being said, everybody, you did the good stuff. You worked hard. And,
We filling time now.
No. Oh wait, that's the one.
They want it, Dave.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Give it to him.
What was it? What do I do?
You go, hey, for those of you that placed in the contest, great job. And for everybody else, me and Dave just want to remind you that as the fight goes on...
Just cut you off completely. Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
I'll be live again.
They can't hear you. Dan will be live soon. John, you won.
John, you won. Hey, John, you won.
You missed the nice things we had to say about you.
Hey, I've said so many nice things about you.
We were like, John, you did it. You pushed yourself.
John, watch it on demand. We're not doing it again. Get off. Yeah, get the fuck off. Get off.
See, look, John won right there.
Yeah, watch it on demand, asshole. Get out of here.
Anyways, thanks everybody. Dan's gonna live stream. Go to crimsondaggers.com. Click on the forum. You know, again, beautiful work. Love you.
Ew.
We love you guys. Without you, I would be dead. Dan would definitely be dead.
I'd be dead.
Dan's already suicidal, so don't push him. Don't leave him.
Very close to the edge.
Okay, good night.